Panorama Mundial Galáctica, toda la información local e internacional con noticias auténticas para que sepas lo que realmente pasa en todo el planeta Tierra.
Here we are. Now we go to Berlin, to the music scene, because we're here with our guest, Alex Glazgow. Hi, Alex. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thanks for coming.
Oh, thanks for having me, Jan. It's like a pleasure to talk with guests from the other continent, to share my thoughts, my ideas, and just basically to get in touch. That's awesome.
Let me share a secret with the audience. They don't know about me. I'm a musician, although it's kind of secret.
But still, it's a secret. It's still a secret.
Can I call you a rocker? Are you rocker?
You better call me rock and roller.
Yeah?
You better call me rock and roller, yeah.
I don't like labels.
I mean, I don't care, to be honest. You know, if you want, I can explain you what is the difference between rock and roll.
You don't have that typical image of a rock and roller. Besides, it's not your generation music, no? So it's like notorious. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Oh, wow. So interesting. So you're making a comparison.
No, I don't like cliches. Far away from me.
No, sure, yeah. It's okay because...
It's just a legitimate question. Oh, why?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay, yeah, because like we're human beings. We tend to, let's say, put people into different boxes just to navigate easier. It's okay. So I'm talking about rock and roll. Yeah. So I was truly captured by the time. I mean, because I didn't believe back then, right? But I watched also videos on YouTube, and I cannot say that I'm that much into Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry. I mean, those kings and fathers of rock and roll. When I say rock and roll, I mean, some stuff from 70s and 80s. Like, the guys that influenced me most are Michael Jackson, Aerosmith, Motley Crue, Van Halen, all these fellas, really. And for me, it is rock and roll, because what is the main difference between rock and roll? According to me.
Yeah, there is a difference. Let's see.
Yeah, according to me, that rock, it has a different meaning. Right? Rock, it has a different emotion. And if we take, let's say, the major part of the music, which is written in rock genre, it is mostly kind of, at least for me, kind of depressive, right? Kind of melancholic. And when we're talking about rock and roll, we're talking about joy and happiness. So, and I put myself into the box of happiness. You can argue with this, but like, this is what I feel. Right, this is just how I perceive the world.
That's interesting. I associated rock and roll with chaos, aliens. You know,
it's metal. It's metal.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. And do you like other types of music as well? Because, for example, I'm very wide for music. I think I'm very eclectic. And I think everything is. I like to listen classical music, rock, punk, funk, post-punk. You know, even like do you hear other music as well, or just you drink of rock and roll?
Not only rock and roll. You know, when you will, let's say, drink coffee, which is in fact tasty, like throughout the day, you will just die probably. This still applies to rock and roll, because like for me, rock and roll is kind of a coffee. I don't want to classify it as a drug.
Oh, it is. Well, you said about addiction, habits and addictions for in terms of clinical terms, they're the same thing. So we'd better have good addiction. For example, if you like to go to the gym every day instead of drinking beer every day, it's a better addiction, into brackets, because addictions and habits for the brain, it's the same, absolutely the same thing. You know that, the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean.
Yeah, it's the same. So that's why we all need habits or addictions. We just call it addictions when we classify it as a negative thing, but it's subjective, because for the brain that's the same. That's something that is between you and your death, between you and your depression, between you and the abysm. Something that. Like I told a few minutes before, something that puts you out, like a escape from reality. Because
yeah. It's like very deep. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Well, in the sense of that's why we can basically classify it as a drug, as an addiction. Yeah. So, in what I say that basically, if you do it a lot of time, lots of times during the day, you'll just get bored of it. Yeah, the same applies to rock and roll, because I cannot listen to rock and roll 24/7. I mean, I used to be in rock and roll when I was in my teenage years, when I was like, let's say 14, 15, when I just started my musical journey as a guitar player. And back then, I could basically listen to rock and roll throughout the day, like, you know, when I have romantic time with who, like, ways, like, I still want to listen to rock and roll. If I just woke up, I didn't want to listen to some morning gentle songs, I want to listen to Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue. If you know this song, like, you probably figured it out, yeah. And, like, I always wanted this rock and roll because, like, I was young, I was gritty, you know, I just had a capacity to listen to this thing, like, 24/7. But talking about these days, it is way different, and I should agree with you that I've started value classic songs, also some funk stuff, jazz. I really got into the jazz. I don't know why, but again, it's like music. It's a matter of your own feel. You cannot explain it in words. So basically, yeah, I deluded myself a bit. But now I can say for sure that I like everything but rap. Truly, like, rap is the only genre which still cannot get into my soul.
Well, the rap community, we're gonna be happy to.
No, I like these guys. I have lots of friends who are rappers. Like, they have their own, let's put it this way, they have their style, and they have their skills that are essential to play rap music. But, like, it just do not resonate with me, you know? That's the point.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I don't feel attracted to rap, although I can respect the quality of the rhymes, the way that they can canalize their social claims. But, well, since I haven't suffered the things, no, racism or social segregation or all kind of stuff that they put in the songs, I can't really feel it, no. I have
yeah,
like,
exactly.
I think music is about that as well, no. As I told you, I have, like, everything more a little bit standard in my childhood, so I don't have that things. I have other essential questions to solve, not that ones. But, well, yeah, of course, the music, when it's very aggressive or very violent, I really don't like as well. And, well, I can.
Oh, yeah, I should agree with you. So, but
Yeah.
I should accept once, I was into metal. I was into metal. I used to love Rammstein. Okay, a lot, to be honest, yeah, but then I transferred to some softer genres, like rock and roll. Yeah, and I basically based myself in rock and roll.
I was traveling. I had when I was living in Paris, I had my producer in Moscow. So he loved heavy metal, and he didn't look at all a heavy metaler at all. He was a classical pianist and, well, piano player. And then, well, one day I asked him, how does it go with you? And, well, he shared with me some heavy metals we heard together in his flat in Moscow. And, well, he showed me another perspective of deepness, quality of, and I just fell in love. Although it's not my style, but I felt like that. That's why. And talking about rap, for example, I remember I spent a little time in Madrid as well before I moved to Paris a few years ago. And, well, I had a French friend, and he gave me an album of a French singer called Grand Corps Malade. And, well, I couldn't understand the word. It's like a rap, but like poetry, because that guy had an accident in the swimming pool, and I couldn't understand the word of that. And, well, I moved to Paris finally. I spoke a little bit of French, but not that much to understand that kind of songs. And, well, after some years, I heard the song again. I understood much more. And every month I heard a little bit. The day I understood everything, I said, okay, now I speak French because this is so hard. And it was so beautiful, So, well, are you more into melodies or lyrics?
Oh, good question. So, since
the most.
Yeah, like, so, actually, the answer is pretty easy, like, no-brainer for me. Since it is music, I'm into melodies, because if I was into lyrics, then most likely I would have been a poet, right? I would have written some novels or some poetry, whatever. I mean, lyrics are really important. But the point is that you gave a great example of this French music that most likely you listen to it, right? Maybe you even enjoyed it, but you had no idea what he is singing about, right? You were captured by the melody, by the style, or by whatever you were captured by, right? So this is the point. So music is all about melody, and I am about the melody, because sometimes lyrics can be dumb, or sometimes lyrics can be really clever, so nobody won't understand them. And basically, nobody will understand the lyrics in two cases, like when they're dumb and when they're too clever. Nobody will figure out what's that. So I can find the golden middle there.
Did you compose it because you named someone on it? I think it's Aven. No, I think if I'm not wrong.
Huh?
Yeah.
Please?
Did you compose it alone? Because I think you named someone on it. I think it's Aven, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, there was Evan, and this is basically the friend who helped me a lot to record the song. He also invested financially into recording because, I mean, basically the main idea is mine, right? And
my producer, our producer of this section here, Arthur, who helped us to record to prepare this interview. He told me that the quality is extremely high of this production. In terms of production, he's a producer himself. He said that's very well produced. So.
Well, thank you so much. But basically, there is no producer. I'm the producer. I'm wearing two hats. So I'm a musician and a producer. That's no point, yeah. So, but anyways, we've invested lots of money into this thing, so that is why it sounds good. So, no wonder.
And talking about money, because a few years ago, musicians, they could record albums. Even before the CD, there was the vinyl albums, and they can sell it, they can become millionaire. And today, nobody pays for music. Music's basically free. And this is the negative side. The positive side is that everybody you don't need the industry anymore. You can have your own social media and find your public little by little, even organic, in indie style. But anyways, how do you see the industry? Because the big difficulty of all musicians, all artists, not only musicians but all artists, is how to live from his arts. That's the big point. Nobody wishes to leave music, to abandon music and go to an office from 8 to 5. It's just that it's so hard to capitalize. Have you a plan for that?
Yeah, for sure. Of course, as every musician, I want to make a living thanks to music. But right now, talking about the industry's perspectives and what will we see in the future, I truly believe that nothing has really changed, and here's why. Because in the past, let's say that me and you, Jan, we were newsborn musicians, right? And we want to record our own stuff. We came to a record studio, and they told us that, you are suckers. I'm sorry, we don't like your music, right? So we're upset, we go home, and we give up music, right? So because we don't have money, and back in the day, it was it cost a fortune to record at least one song, right, and to distribute it. But nowadays, it is way easier to do this, right? If we had the same situation, we probably would have just come home and record our own song. Yeah, then we hopefully would go viral and achieve success. Meaning that back in the day, musicians, they had to fight for the place. Yeah, to make money thanks to music. On the one hand, it was easier because they were not into making the content, right? They could focus only on the music, which is really important. Yeah, and basically musicians are all about music, right? But right now, musicians, they have to create content, they have to record their own music, they also have to manage their own production. Lots of things to do, lots of headache, right? But on the other hand, you have more tools. So, and basically, I'm just comparing it logically, and as I feel, becoming popular requires the same amount of effort as it required back in the day. Yeah, because then you just could come to the record studio, you could have a deal, then bang, you're famous. But today, you can use all the tools available, social media, you can, let's say, email distribution of your stuff. you can do lots of things, and that is why in the future, most likely, we'll find new tools. Again, it would get harder to become a musician, but at least you will have more tools which you can use. And if you can use them wisely, you'll achieve success. This is what I think.
All right. Well, Alex, thanks a lot for being here, for sharing a little bit of your song, of yourself with us, and we'll have the last words, whatever you want to say to the public, or whatever you want to say, or to share.
Happy guys.
So,
and one thing I want to say for sure: if you want to have a bad mood, watch news. But if you want to live the spirits, go to Alex Glazgow concert. This is my friend told me this once. Yeah.
That's it. I'm going to share as well his social media so you can follow him. So thanks Alex. Thanks a lot, and well, thank you on the other side who watched us, and see you next time. Bye.